Hello, everyone. Welcome to our online information session, specifically for the certificate program of teaching English to speakers of other languages. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Ryan Averill. I am one of the program managers for the education programs, which includes the TESOL certificate program. So I will be here to give this information session and also to answer any questions you might have at the end. So I would definitely love to thank you all for joining us today. In this presentation, we will be beginning with telling you a little bit about the job opportunities in the field of TESOL, and then covering some details about our certificate program. If you do have any questions, what I suggest is that you wait for the questions at the end of the session. At the end of the session, I will be able to answer any of those questions, and you can either type them out or speak them out loud, whichever you are comfortable with. You can also email our inbox at extension-education@berkeley.edu. I will send that in the chat later, and it will also be on the slides later if you would like to email with any questions or concerns that you might have. So let's get started on the actual content of the presentation. So first, we want to think about why you're considering earning a certificate in TESOL. So we're going to address several questions throughout this presentation. First, the TESOL certificate can be all the qualification needed to teach English in many parts of the world. However, if you're specifically thinking about teaching ESL in California, you may need additional certification. A TESOL certificate from UCB Extension is for many people, an affordable first step to enter the world of TESOL or to be accepted into a master's degree or adult education credential program. Just so we're clear about the types of words I will be using in this presentation, we will be using both TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, and ESL, English as a second language, somewhat interchangeably. Just so you're aware, TESOL is what we consider an umbrella term for certificate or degree programs that help prepare students to teach English to non-English speakers anywhere in the world. So UCB Extension has adopted the term TESOL specifically for the certificate program. ESL, or English as a second language, is used when English is being taught to non-English speakers in an English-speaking country specifically. An analogous term of EFL, or English as a foreign language, is used when the teaching of English is taking place in a country where the dominant language is not English, such as Germany or China, for example. So, why exactly should you pursue an ESL career? Worldwide, over 1.5 billion people are currently studying English, and the number of English learners is only expected to grow further. In fact, the population of English learners is predicted to grow to nearly 2.5 billion in the next decade, more than 1/4 of the people on Earth. Globally, what this means is a larger need for high-quality English instruction. Our TESOL certificate can open the doors to these opportunities because the need for qualified English teachers is so large. It's not really a question of whether you will find a job in teaching English abroad, but what job in which country best suits you and your career goals. In California specifically, there is a growing need for ESL instructors. Approximately 19% of California residents have limited English proficiency. As shown on this slide, improved English proficiency increases earnings anywhere from 17 to 135%. So different policy studies estimate that California will need an additional 100,000 teachers in K through 12 and adult education for the next decade due to teacher shortage. This also includes a need for teachers of English as a second language. So we want to also think about how the high global demand for English does provide many of these job opportunities, especially for those who want to teach English abroad. For most English teaching jobs abroad, a TESOL certificate, again, is sufficient. Many of our alumni have used our certificate in this way. It really just depends on the country and where you're going about what certificates or resume you need for the job. So, it also, why should you earn this TESOL certificate? It's also good for your professional and personal benefits when teaching English abroad. There are many benefits to teaching abroad. For example, it is an excellent way to finance your travels and to learn a foreign language. Some employers subsidize airfare and living accommodations. If you're at the beginning of your work life or at the closer to retirement, a lot of people find these opportunities very compelling, especially as a way to potentially even save money. You also gain marketable skills. As a teacher abroad, you'll have the opportunity to show initiative on a daily basis, gain confidence for unexpected problems that you have to solve on the spot. And in addition, you'll be immersed in a different culture where you'll absorb and learn new approaches and perspectives you can gain no other way. Teaching English abroad also helps to accelerate your development of organizational and communication skills and group management skills. There's really no better way to develop effective communication skills than having to command, keep engaged, and teach a group of people who don't speak the same language or share your culture. Additionally, comfort with and understanding of cultural diversity is becoming increasingly important in the global workplace. When you do teach abroad, developing a sensitivity to and respect for cultural differences is a vital aspect of successfully managing your English learners. One word of caution though, foreign language instruction is in general, a largely unregulated industry in the world. And so when you are researching which country to go to, what kind of job you would like, please make sure you're conducting thorough research of the institutes and other potential employers before you accept any type of job. Moving on, another benefit is a rewarding career. Surveys report job satisfaction is high among ESL teachers. Why? Likely because teachers see the impact of their work as the students' English improves. Improved English skills connects with the primary goals of education, better job opportunities, access to better educational opportunities, and quicker assimilation and integration into a new culture. So, what are your career options? If you have a bachelor's degree, which is needed for this program, plus this TESOL certificate, you will have potentially some of these opportunities as shown on this slide. So once you've earned that certificate, teaching English abroad is one of the easiest career options. It's recognized all over the world, but I will say it is especially recognized in Latin and Central America and Asia and Southeast Asia, as for the name brand. If you decide to teach English as a second language in the US without pursuing additional credentials, private language schools do accept candidates with a TESOL certificate. Other employment opportunities could include private tutoring, customized language training for international companies like high-tech, engineering, airlines, etc., or nonprofits like the International Rescue Committee, refugee transitions, etc., which provide English instruction to refugees and recent immigrants. Now, if you have the bachelor's degree and TESOL certification, and also get additional credentials like adult education credential or master's in TESOL, then this could be helpful for adult schools and local community colleges. Because if you're wanting to work, for example, at a California community college, you will need a master's degree in TESOL in addition to the certificate. If you're interested in teaching English as a second language at an adult education school, again, you will need to earn an adult education credential. So why specifically would you choose Berkeley and the TESOL certificate at UC Berkeley? So in case you are unclear about what UC Berkeley Extension is, it is what is known as the continuing education arm of the flagship campus, UC Berkeley. Since 1891, we've been assisting students in reaching their professional goals and accomplishments. We offer more than 65 professional certificates and specialized programs, and more than 2,000 classroom and online courses, with 45,000 enrollments each year. We pride ourselves on academic excellence especially, and all extension courses and instructors, including the TESOL program, are approved by the appropriate campus department. In particular, this certificate is fully supported by the UC Berkeley Education Department. So our certificates require academic advisory boards to supervise and also pass them. And this comprises campus faculty and industry leaders, and they review the curriculum, ensure it's up to date, and in touch with emerging trends and hot topics. So as a general program overview, our instructors teach English as a second language at a variety of institutions and organizations, and they bring their real-world experience to the classroom. When you enroll in a UC Berkeley Extension course, you're guaranteed that professional instruction based on their firsthand knowledge, along with Berkeley quality education, without the application process or excessive costs. So our TESOL certificate is actually the most comprehensive in the Bay Area. Upon completion, you will have taken 7 courses, 255 hours of instruction, and 17 semester units. If you are new to teaching and have never taught before, by the time you've completed the certificate, you will be ready in order to do so. And it finishes with a practicum. And our practicum in course design provides an opportunity to take your learning to the next level, to explore innovative ways to best integrate your instruction skills in a classroom. It is the capstone of the certificate program, and it distinguishes from it from other TESOL certificates, as you will be getting hands-on experience in a classroom while guided by one of our UC Berkeley Extension instructors who will be working with you throughout that experience. So, to earn the certificate for TESOL, you must complete the 7 required courses. There are no electives. We designed the class schedule with working professionals in mind. Most classes meet evenings during the week, usually from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. If you're in East Coast, that would be 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And on average, it takes 1 to 2 years to complete all coursework. So what specifically will you be learning? The 7 required courses are listed here, and they cover core concepts, methods, and skills of teaching English as a second language. Although there is not a prescribed order for taking the courses, we strongly recommend that you keep the following in mind. Fundamentals of Linguistics is a foundational course and should be taken prior to second language acquisition, which requires a basic understanding of linguistics. In the Methods and Materials course, you'll be learning how to prepare a lesson plan, how to evaluate different textbooks, and the basics of different teaching strategies. Methods and Materials should be taken right before the practicum, and the practicum should be the last course taken in the curriculum. You will be learning from our special instructors who are highly trained and absolute superstars. So you'll be learning and who are also experienced practitioners in the field. They're passionate about sharing their knowledge with you and helping you achieve your professional and career goals. They bring concepts to the classroom that illuminate the topics and real-world examples from their job experience. With your fellow students, you work through examples and gain firsthand knowledge through case-based scenarios and interactive projects. So 2 of our instructors are Carol Letheby and Sadiq Popal. Carol Letheby has been an ESL instructor, TESOL teacher trainer, and curriculum developer since 1986. She has lived and worked in the UK, Australia, France, Greece, and Mexico. Sadiq Popal has been an ESL instructor since 1980 and has taught the subject in Asia and in Europe. He's the chair of the ESL department at College of Alameda and a professor at the University of San Francisco. Carol Letheby and Sadiq Popal are both Extension honored instructors, an acknowledgement given to outstanding instructors for their contribution to Extension and for their support of our students. So how you will learn. The TESOL certificate has traditionally been a classroom-based in-person program, but we moved the entire program to be live online, so people from all over the country or potentially all over the world can plan to complete the program from afar and from the comfort of their own homes. Please note, however, that it is a fixed date live online classroom, which means that there are specific times in Pacific time when students are required to join class meetings via Zoom. Again, that tends to be Monday through Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. It is also important to note that fixed date online courses have specific start and end dates. This means that students' access to the course content begins on the course start date, and learners should plan to complete assignments within the specific dates posted in their online classrooms and as set up by their instructor in the course syllabus. Live online courses provide an interactive learning experience with scheduled synchronous online sessions held via Zoom video conferencing. As with courses held in person, the teaching methods for live online courses emphasize lectures, demonstrations, group discussions, and collaborative activities, and students should expect to attend every one. So, how do you actually earn the certificate? It's a fairly simple process. You first register for the certificate and you pay the non-refundable registration fee. You should do this before starting your third course in the certificate, is in general what we recommend. You should then, next step, complete all of the required courses with a grade of C or better within the 5-year time period. You pay for courses as you enroll in them. The course fees vary based on the number of academic units each course offers. But to complete all of your courses, it's estimated to be around $4,735. This doesn't include costs for any of your course materials or the one-time $150 certificate registration fee, and this program cost estimate is subject to change as course fees may change over time. So once you finish the program, you will then receive a digital and physical copy of your certificate issued by the UC Berkeley Extension Registrar's Department. Now, what exactly do our graduates end up doing? Where do they end up? I have a few examples for you. For example, after receiving his TESOL certificate with us, Aaron Sponseller went on to pursue a master's in TESOL and then a PhD in applied linguistics. He now lives in Japan year-round and works with English language learners at Hiroshima University. Or, for example, Nora Mitchell, who successfully launched her business, English with Nora, where she teaches English to Japanese professionals who are working in the Silicon Valley. Or Frank Brisky, who works at Stanford University's English in Action program, where he is an English language conversation partner and coach. Each week, he meets with an international graduate student or visiting scholar and discusses topics that are interesting to that student to help that student better understand English through meaningful context. Now, how do you get started if you would like to take this program? First, you're going to need to create a student account through our website. You'll use this account to enroll and pay for your courses, schedule your exams, find out about your grades, and track your progress through the certificate. Again, one of the biggest benefits is that you pay as you go. You don't pay for the entire certificate at once. You pay for each course one at a time. For your first course, we recommend that you start with Fundamentals of Linguistics or Cross-Cultural Communication. Once you're ready to register for the whole certificate, you'll need to meet the 2 requirements: sending us your bachelor's degree transcript, could also be a master's if you prefer, and then paying the $150 registration fee. Please keep in mind that this needs to be done by the time that you take your third course. We also suggest you sign up for our newsletter by filling out our newsletter sign-up form. You will receive monthly emails about upcoming TESOL courses and new blog posts if you do.